everybody, it's Lisa here again. I'm glad to see you back today for more fun. Welcome to part 2 of the Energy Challenge, and it's gonna be awesome. Here we go. When we move, breathe, play, think, or keep our bodies warm, we are using energy. When cars or planes work, they are using energy also. And when we turn on the lights in a room, that's energy in action. Energy is basically anything that makes us and the world go round. There are many different types of energy. I bet as a class you can name many. Pause now while you all take a guess. Okay, here are some examples. Sound energy, kinetic energy, thermal, potential energy, mechanical energy, chemical energy, and gravitational potential. How many did you all think of? Although humans have been on this planet for hundreds of thousands of years, much of the energy we use now has only been in existence for a few hundred years. Before that, we mainly used energy from movement, wind, or human power. In fact, humans are so wonderful at inventing things that over the past centuries, we have come up with some amazing new inventions. But we are now starting to learn that many of these amazing things, like cars, light bulbs, and factories, are all powered by non-renewable resources, which means they will eventually run out. Non-renewable energies are also known as fossil fuels, and they include coal, oil, and gas. But don't forget, when thinking about the future, we can also look to the past for inspiration. Our energy consumption is not slowing down. We live in a digital age, and all of this technology uses incredible amounts of energy. Did you know that leaving a light bulb on for 1 extra hour a day is equivalent of riding a bicycle for 2.5 days to create the same energy? Now, think about all the items in your classroom that are using energy right now. How many can your class think of? Pause the video while you try to name them. It's activity time. Think about 4 things that you do every day that require energy. Then think about where the energy comes from. If you're not sure, you can always ask a friend or a teacher for help. But I want you to think about things with batteries and plugs also, or anything with an on-off switch. This will get you started. Did you know energy cannot be created or destroyed? However, it can be transformed from one type into another type. In fact, every useful process transforms energy from one form to another. There are many different forms and types of energy. Some examples of everyday energy transformations are rubbing hands together, like this, to keep them warm. This is kinetic energy to thermal energy. Now let's think about a battery-powered flashlight. In the battery, chemical energy is transferred to electrical energy. And in the light bulb itself, electrical energy is transferred to radiant energy. Now let's think about an object speeding up as it falls down. This is called gravitational potential energy, and it changes to kinetic energy. Now let's watch this video of the Rubby Glovey Frictionator, invented by Jessica. She's only age 8. Jessica says the Frictionator creates energy using friction to charge your devices. Just put on the gloves, hold the energy maker, and rub it quickly. It uses friction to make electricity, which is stored in the energy track. Then plug in your phone, and charge it. How brilliant! We have just learned that energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it can be transferred or transformed from one form to another form. Now, can you match the energy input to the energy output through each device listed here on this slide? The answers will be on the next slide, so pause now. No peeking. In the first example, electrical energy is transferred into light by the light bulb. It is also turned into thermal energy, which gets wasted. In this next example, chemical energy from fuel is transferred into mechanical energy by the car. These days, however, some cars are powered by electricity, so you'd also be right if you said electrical first. In this final example, the kinetic energy from wind is transferred into electrical energy by the mechanism inside of the wind turbine. Did you get them all right? Rube Goldberg was a cartoonist and an inventor who created very complex machines to do simple tasks. Energy transfer in a Rube Goldberg machine involves converting one form of energy into another as the marble or other object moves through it. The machine begins with potential energy stored in various objects placed at higher positions. For example, if a marble is placed on a platform at the highest point, it has potential energy due to its higher position. When the marble is released, it may travel to a structure such as a ramp, pulley, or screw. The potential energy is converted into kinetic energy, which is the energy of motion. As the marble moves, it hits different objects such as dominoes or a ball. This transfers the kinetic energy in a chain reaction. The motion and energy is transferred from one object to another. Watch the video where some clever people have created their own version of a Rube Goldberg machine in real life. It's activity time again. Give this Rube Goldberg inspired activity a go and try and work out what type of energy is in action at each letter along the machine. There may be more than one type. Some of the types of energies that could be in action are listed on the right-hand side of the page to help you. And here's an idea. How about designing your very own Rube Goldberg machine as a class? You could draw one or maybe even make one in real life. Have fun! It's important to understand different sources of energy, how we use the energy, and how this affects the world that we live in today. Energy is vital to our lives, and it's increasingly more important as we rely more and more on technology in order to power, well, pretty much everything around us. Scientists all agree we have to change how we live so we can take care of our planet better and even possibly reverse the damage we have already done in the last several decades. It's up to me and you now to come up with ways to change this by thinking about ways to save or stop wasting energy and be energy smart at home and beyond. So you and I must start inventing. There are many things you and I can do to take care of our environment is to think about how we produce, use, and store energy. We also need to think about how we waste energy. And you, the students of today, will be adults very, very soon. And it's going to very much matter to the world that you live in for the rest of your life. This is your chance to think about inventions to set us all on the right track. We want you to think about ways to be smarter about energy. How can we make it? How can we stop wasting it? And how can we use it more efficiently? In the future, there will be lots and lots more people on Earth. Right now, there are approximately 8 billion people. Did you know that a billion is a million times 1,000? It's so difficult to imagine that many of anything. This is the most people ever in the history of the universe. Some predict there will be more than 9 billion people by 2050. This will bring some big challenges, and we need to keep up. Energy is used for many different things. Around 30% of all energy use in our country is for homes, and another 40% is used for transport. Transport can mean getting around from place to place, but it is also when things are transported to us or from us, like when we do online shopping and receive an item, or when we transport goods to another country. Now you've been introduced to fossil fuels and non-renewable energy, but it's time to start thinking about sources of renewable energy. So we all know that we need to move away from fossil fuels into renewable energy if we want to look after our planet better. But what does that look like? Renewable energy is any kind of energy that is naturally replenished, such as wind, sun, movement, or waves. Many inventors have already come up with amazing ways to harness this energy, but that doesn't mean there aren't more unrealized possibilities that you and I can think of. Did you know Michigan is on a mission to become carbon neutral by the year 2050? This means we will absorb or remove the same amount of carbon as we produce, or more so. Did you also know that Michigan produces 2.5 times as much energy from the sun and wind as it did 10 years ago? Michigan also generated more solar energy in 2023 than ever before. We are definitely on our way to a greener, healthier future. Way to go, Michigan! It's time for our final activity of this section of our challenge. We're going to put on our thinking caps and dream green. Pick any room in your school or somewhere where you spend a lot of time. Maybe it's even the bus on the way home. Let's think about making that place more environmentally friendly. This can be any place. Again, maybe the classroom, your school cafeteria, the gymnasium, or maybe your bus ride home. Maybe it's even your favorite restaurant. Let's think about things that use electricity in that place, like lights, or a TV, or a gaming device. Or you could think about other kinds of things that use energy to heat water, like showers or a bath. Then, think about all the different ways you could save energy or capture wasted energy in that room. See you next time for part 3 of the MISD Energy Challenge.